Hey, hi, welcome guys. Welcome back to our channel, which is Fiveron. Today, I'm going to discuss a very trending, kind of library in Python, which is NumPy. Okay, and in the first session, in the first part of the NumPy, we had discussed about the use cases of the NumPy, and now we are going to make our hand dirty over the NumPy, right? And let's discuss about that. So, what is NumPy? NumPy is it's a kind of Python library which is used to convert your any kind of data into form of the array. Okay, basically at the end of any project, whatever project you are going to deal in the deep learning or computer vision problem in the future you are going to solve, your main intention should be you have to convert your all data in the form of the array. So NumPy is the kind of library which will help you to convert your data in the form of the array, right? So let me execute this. Okay, so what I did, I created. So what I did here, can you see this? I just import the NumPy library and I made what I did, I call this np.array. Basically what it's doing, it is converting my list. This is my list, right? This is my list, and this is my list. 1 minute. What I'm going to do, just a minute. And before doing this, what I'm doing here, I'm going to copy this list. This is the kind of list, right? And I'm going to paste it above this and control V, and I'm going to give this name is equal to L is equal to this, and this L I'm going to define inside of this. And now if I'm trying to execute, now can you see this? This L got converted in the form of the array. So my list, any kind of data, if you want to convert your tuple into the array, if you want to convert your set into the array, any kind of data if you want to convert into the array, NumPy will help you a lot, right? And suppose if you want to check what is the data type of it is, this is the NumPy and the array, right? This is the NumPy and the array. So now this all kind of data we are able to convert, right? Now we'll see all the use cases of it is. So suppose you want to create one array of dimension 3. So what is doing, see here, can you see this 3 square braces are there? So you can define your dimension also. This is the 1D array. How I can see this is the 1D array? If I want to convert this see, there is a one parameter in case of ND array. If you will go here and if you can press shift plus tab, and you can able to see there is a one argument is there like a n dimension, okay, and dmin. You can see this, and this is the kind, it will take an integer kind of data, and whatever thing you are passing there, see right now I'm passed here 3, so it will convert my array in the form of the 3-dimensional array. So whatever square number of square bracket you will get at the in front of the numbers, that is my dimension of the array. Basically I would like to say this. So suppose similarly one thing is that, suppose I'm going to create one array like this xdt np.array, and I just created a list of tuple 1 2 and 3 4, and I want to 1 minute, I'll annotate this. Okay, so you can observe here, can you see this? You can observe here, I just created one list here 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 4, 1 comma 2 and 3 comma 4, and I defined the data type also. Can you see this? I defined a 1 2 a means basically this is means I8 means 64 bit, okay, and this again B, this is B. Similarly this is A, this is B. Okay, so what I'm trying to show you here, see, suppose I defined here 8, right? And what the output we are getting here, can you see this? 1 minute. Okay, what the output we are getting? So I'm getting this. I want to access this element first. 1. I want to access this 1. So suppose I want to access 1. First, I would like to access 1 comma 2, and whether I'm able to get. Let me do one thing. 1 minute. xdt, and here I'm passing the 0, whether I am able to, yes, 1 comma 2, and if I want only 1, what I can do, I can pass 0, so I'm getting 1, and I want to check that this data type. So I did type, I call the type function, and on the top of that I pass this xdt 0 0. Okay, so what is the data type we are getting by default? But not by default, we intentionally set 64 bit. Suppose I am setting here 2, I am setting here 2, and what I am getting, this 16 bit. Suppose I am setting here 4, I am setting here 4. What the data type we are getting? 32 bit, right? Suppose I am setting here 4. Okay, suppose I'm setting here 8, so I'm getting 64 bit. Okay, no worries, no worries. Let's suppose here I'm setting 2 only, here I'm setting 2, and now in this will give me 1, and I'm passing here 1 only, and now I'm getting 64 bit, because you can see here my 2 is pointing to the B, and I8 basically ensuring me the bit, what is the data type of it is 64 bit. By default, pandas 3 means Python 3 or Anaconda library will take the 64 bit only. So that's all. But if you want to intentionally set something, some different data type, in case of integer 16 bit, 32 bit or 64 bit, you can do like this, right? Correct. Okay, cool. Next, if you want to convert your array in the form of the matrix, that is also possible, because matrix, again, see, again, I would like to tell you, matrix is what? Matrix is the subclass of the array. Matrix is the subclass. What I did, I created one array, 1, 2, and 4, 7, 1, 2, and 4, 7. So up to this, to no doubt. I just converted, I created one array, and that array I'm passing inside of matrix, and I'm able to get 2D matrix. See, can you see this? And if you want to check this shape, then you can call it shape argument, and I'm able to get it 2 cross 2. This is the matrix shape, is the 2 cross 2. Okay, so basically I don't want to spoil this. I want to do like this shape. So in case of real time also, we will get the matrix only. We will get the 2D, you can say 2D matrix, and in that 2D matrix, we will pass the different kind of data, and on the top of the data, we have to analyze it, right? So this is the same thing we supposed to do with the real time also. So that's the things I would like to highlight here. Okay, cool. Next, suppose there is a one function in case of NumPy, we are getting like a as array. What is the as array is doing? Let's explain this also. So as I created one list, and I am passing that list to the as array, and now you can see this as array is creating any kind of basically np.array also converting your array, means converting your data into the array, right? But as array is also converting the same thing in the form of the array. So no doubt you can use anything at all, no worries at all. Correct? Okay, so now let's suppose I want to intentionally give the data type also, because if you can see, if you see here, I created one np.array, and inside of array I pass this one term, and there is a different kind of argument is there. Whatever arguments are there, you can see here. If you press shift plus tab, and there is a one argument like a d type, and here you can intentionally define this is the data type is the float, 32, 64 bit or integer. By default, whatever data is passing at the runtime, Python is detecting it's a data type of the data. But if you want to ensure that this data is the float or integer, then you can specify inside of d type argument, right? So if I'm executing this, I'm able to get 1 comma. And suppose I'm not going to define this parameter. If I'm not going to define this parameter, then what will happen? So if I'm not going to specify any argument over there, by default, Python interpreter is taking it as an integer. But if I'm executing this, if I'm defining this, then it is converting my integer type of data into the float kind of data, right? Correct. Got it. So next, let's suppose if I told you matrix is what? Matrix is the subclass of array, right? So I have to prove that also. If I can able to prove it up, then it's a good for you, right? There is a is subclass is the method, and I pass that is matrix is the subclass of np dot and nd array or not. So it is giving true. Let's see, and nd array is the subclass of matrix or not. That is also we have to see. Okay, so then only I can prove it up, right? Okay, so what I did, I just call nd array is the submatrix. It is giving me false. I told you matrix is the subclass of array, nd array, but nd array is not a subclass of matrix. So this line of statement is proving itself that this whatever I told, it is correct, right? Matrix is a subclass of nd array. Correct. Now there is one more argument, one more function is there in case of NumPy, like a form function. What is the form function is doing? Basically, So np.form function means if you want to create one array behalf of some function, then with the help of the function, if you want to create one array, then you can call the form function. I used to use this form function very rarely. I guess 3 or 4 times I used till my career, no use at all. But just for sake of practice, you can use this function. If you want to create an array behalf of some function, then you can use it up, right? So what I did, okay, let me clear this first. Okay, now you can see here, okay, you can see here what happened here. Basically, it created one Andy array. It created one 3 cross 3 matrix. Basically, it created one 3 cross 3 matrix. And lambda function, I guess I already discussed in my Python lecture. And if you missed something about the lambda function, then please watch that. And in that lambda function, what I told, it will take two number, like you can say I, and this is j, and this number will start 0 1 2, and this number is also will start 0 1 2. And what I told, wherever I comma j is equal, there I should print, means I and j is equal here, so I have to get true. And again, I and j not equal, then it should be false. I and j not equal, then it should be set as a false. Again, this also false. Then but 1 comma 1, it should be true. And similarly, it should be false, 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 and true. So that's what I'm getting, this kind of matrix. Got it? Hope it's clear, right? What the form function is doing. Okay, cool. Now let's discuss another thing. Form function you understood. Got it. Now suppose similarly, I would like to, similarly, I would like to do something, some more stuff here. Some more stuff I would like to do, like I have to multiply, means what you can see, suppose I have a matrix, something 3 cross 3 matrix I have, and this is my I value, this is my j value. Okay, and here the value is going to be start 1 0 1 2, and this value is going to be start 0 1 2, right? And now I would like to print all those things wherever behalf of this condition, means I into j, and that value I have to print. So 0 into 0 0, 0 into 1 sir 0, 0 into 2 sir 0, 1 into 0 0, 1 into 1 1, 1 into 2 2, and 2 into 2 2 into 0, sorry, 2 into 0 0, 2 into 1 2, 2 into 2 4, and I should get this kind of matrix 0 0 0 1 2, like this. So let's see whether I am able to get or not. Okay, so let's see. So yes, I'm able to get the same matrix, right? How it happened, right? You can put your own function. I'm not bothering about that. Just sake of knowledge, I just give this idea, right? Okay. Now let's suppose there is a one more method is coming, like a for meter. For meter is, suppose for meter is no use at all. Again, I'm saying it's no use at all. Basically, I had discussed about the iterator and generator function. So basically, each list, tuple, set, these are the iterator, and we can iterate using the for loop. Similarly, range is also a iterable. So what I did, I create one object of iterable with the name of iterable, and I iterate it up, and I'm getting, iterable object. And basically, iterable object will not print like this. Either you can call through the for loop, or you can call through the next method that we know. And with the help of iterator, if you want to create any array, then you can use this for meter method. Okay, so basically, if you want to take the data from the iterable object, you can use the next method or for loop. This is the one approach we had discussed so far. But now, if you want to create a array with the help of the iterable object, then you can call the for meter method, and on that for meter method, you can pass your iterable object and data type, and you will get it out, right? Yes, cool. Now, if you want to create an array with the help of string, then there is a one method is coming, like a form string, and you can pass the any kind of string, and you can pass the separator also. So right now my separator is space, so I gave it as a space, and if now I am executing this code, I can able to get the array. Okay, basically I told you, right, in case of data science, in case of deep learning, in case of artificial intelligence, ultimately goal is our to convert any kind of data in the form of array. Okay, in the form of array, then only we can prove it up, right? Correct. So yeah, I showed you with the help of string we can convert. Similarly, I would like to show you some different separator, right? I would like to show you, yes, I am able to convert, right? And again, if you want to convert this array into 2D array, 2D matrix, then you are happy to go with the matrix concept I had already showed you, right? Yeah. Okay. Now, let's suppose something. Suppose I created one matrix with the help of the list 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and now I would like to convert that matrix, that list in form of matrix, sorry, array. Then I am happily convert this, because again matrix is the subclass of the array, right? You know very well. And yes, I am able to get all those things. Dimension, if you want to check the dimension, so dimension, for checking the dimension, you can use the size, shape, and if you want to check the data type, then you can use the d type. Okay, cool. Okay, again I am saying, guys, it's a very limited time of period, and in this limited time I would like to show everything. So if you face any challenges in case of NumPy, then do let me know. I'll help you out, okay, over the comment section. Yeah. Okay, now let's suppose what I'm going to do. See, try to understand what I'm going to do. I'm going to see again what is the, before a range function, I would like to show you something. What is the range function is doing? Range function basically is giving me the number. Basically, it's giving me the number between this 0 to that range. A range function is kind of range function only, but in case of range function, you know, in case of range function, you must seen means it is returning always integer. But in case of a range function, it will give a float value also, right? It will give a float value also, right? So you can see here, I just created one array and a range function. I gave their start from 5 into 2.6, and what is the gap of it is 2.3. Okay, so basically see, it is start from 5 and with add 2.3, it gives the next number 7.3, add 2.3 again in the 7.3. okay, I'll annotate this, don't worry. So basically, in case of range function, what we were doing, same, if you know the range function 0 to 5, and this is the stepping size, right? By default it is setting as a 1, and suppose if I am giving 2, so what is going to be happen? 0, again it will add 2 number in the 0 plus 2, it will give 2, again 2 plus 2 4, and if I'm going to add another 2, then it become a 6, and 6 is more than 5, then it will not return, it will give this many elements. Similarly, arrange function, in case of arrange function, you can set the fractional value also. Suppose I gave here ARANGE arrange function, and here I defined 5 starting point, ending point, and step size. So this time I gave the step size 2.3, and start from 5, add 2.3, it become a 7.3, add 2.3, 9.6, add 2.3, it become something blah blah 11.9, 14.2, and again if we are adding 2.3, it become more than 16. So it is not returning that thing. So basically I would my idea is that my understanding, if you know the range function, then a range will be easy for you. Okay, yeah, cool. So next range function, you understood, right? Okay, cool. Next is there is a linspace function. Linspace is basically same like a arrange function, but yes, there is a one basic difference in case of linspace. So what is the basic difference? Try to understand these things. In case of range function, what is the third parameter is indicating? Third parameter was indicating the step size, right? But in case of linspace, third parameter here will indicate the number of element between the first element to the last element, means 1 to 5. It will divide 1 to 5 all data into 50 subpart, and it will give that data. Let's see. Yes, I can able to get the 50 data. Yeah guys, that's all about this NumPy. In the next session we will see NumPy third part, and that session we will discuss so much interesting topic about that. Hope you enjoy the session. Thanks for watching this. Please do comment and subscribe our channel if you really like this channel. Okay, thank you.